Hey everybody, this is Erica from the Classy Climb blog, and I'm gonna give you 5 things that immigrants do that regular Americans just don't. Sorry, have to. Number 1, don't know something, they go pick up a book, they go to a seminar, they go to a conference. They're willing to part with the money to learn it. Not just say, well, I Googled it and I didn't get enough answers, so I don't know. I looked up all the free stuff I could. No, they would rather pay or read a book and actually get the information and then take action. Number 2, start small businesses, or AKA micro businesses. You check out a Haitian family, a Jamaican family, a Korean family, you name it, the minority group, Nigerian. They are not, my 9 to 5 may be a janitor at a college. But guess what? Their 5 to 9 is their micro business. Whether it's selling a skill they have, selling their time in a different way, taxes, credit repair, real estate agent, all of the above, you know, so many different things. And I've come across so many different immigrants who are like, oh yeah, let me tell you about my business. And I go, but aren't you working at the school over there? Aren't you working over here? Yeah, they don't care about the 9 to 5 if it's not high paying, because they have an opportunity to come to America and have a bit of the American dream, a micro business. If you want more information on micro businesses, check out the $100 Startup. It's a good book for it. 3, they reinforce in their kids the desire for knowledge. Now I know you're like, Ty Lopez, knowledge. It's rare to meet a immigrant family or immigrant cow or a kid who has a Korean mom and a military dad or whatever, and they not getting lessons on the piano, going to tutoring in the afternoons, reading or doing extra homework curricular in the afternoons. Why? Because they know that little bit, that slight edge, and there's a book on that too called Slight Edge, gets their kid the next level that your kid's not doing. Your kid's running around playing, goofing off, playing on video games, not reading an extra book a day. I mean, there's stats that show if your child just reads 30 minutes a night, it equals almost 100 books a year, you know, little kid books, right? You know, and the kids that don't read at all at night, they barely read up to 5 books a year, and that's because they're at school and school's forcing them to read. Not the same, right? 2 different levels. The kid that's reading barely 5 books and the kid that's reading 100, it's 2 different levels, okay? Number 4, love their story. Love their story. And in America, we have this tendency to go, well, now that I've made it, I'm gonna be comfortable. And my story is a middle-class American, and that's all that matters. No, immigrants sometimes just love their story. I've come here to America with nothing in my pocket, and I've worked this job and that job, and I've worked 2 or 3 jobs, and now I own a business, or I own a home, or I own other things. They love their story. They don't ignore their story. A lot of times Americans, if you ask them where they come from, they don't want to tell you about their little town. They're like, oh, you don't want to know about my little town. It's nothing to talk about. It is something to talk about. People buy you. There's a book called People Follow You, because they do. People go, man, if that guy can make it out of podunk nowhere, so can I. If that guy can go to college out there, so can I. A lot of times we want to ignore our story, and that's the worst, because sharing your story encourages others, gives other passions, gives other people light to where they're at. Share your story. Don't let just immigrants share their story. If you're from somewhere in Pennsylvania, Ohio, or an old Rust Belt town, and now you have a business and now you're living the American dream, or now you're traveling the world, share that with people. It's a great thing. Don't hide your story and just try to act like you're like the Joneses. Share your story. It's a great thing. 5, see the world through fresh eyes. And a lot of times this happens for us when we move to a new city, a new state. You know, we go to a new school. All of a sudden we're like, oh, there's all these girls, there's all these guys, there's all these potential friendships, there's all these potential businesses, there's all these potential opportunities. And it always happens when we move to a new place. Why? Because we have fresh eyes. And a lot of times immigrants come to this whole country with like, there's opportunity everywhere. And back on the micro business tip, if you are just a regular person working a job, having a W-2, your tax credits and deductions are about 7 major ones, really. Phone, home, car, mouse, you know, food, entertainment. It's very, very limited. Once you own a business, just a piece of paper, Now you have access to 475 different deductions and tax credits and loopholes that we call the loopholes for the rich. It's not loopholes for the rich, it's for those who own a business. And that's why immigrants come to this country, and they're two times more likely to have high incomes. We already know the stat from the IRS that Haitians and Koreans within 5 years of coming to America go from penniless to millionaires or $1 million in assets on their taxes. And you know, IRS keeps great records. So what's stopping you from the next 5 years exploding in your life? Is it your story? Is it your lack of time feeding your brain? Is it not giving your children the slight edge, making them read more, making them travel, making them go to museums on the weekends? What is it? Have you not started your micro business? What is something you've been sitting on all this time and you wanted to do it? Go do it. 5 things immigrants do that we don't as regular Americans. This is Erica, Classy Climb Blog. Also, later guys.